Last July, I woke up in severe pain, radiating all the way down my left arm, my breast, and I knew something wasn't right, but I waited. The next morning, still there. I knew I was in trouble. So my hubby took me to the ER. It was July 2nd, and this was the last place I wanted to be, but I had no choice. I could not ignore the severity of the pain. They got me back quickly, and based on my description of the pain and the location, automatically began troubleshooting for a heart attack. EKG, blood work, chest x-ray. I was filled with dread and fear. They came back within 2 hours and released me, stating that my heart was fine. There was no evidence of a heart attack. So they sent me home and told me to follow up with my primary care doctor. At no time did they ever examine the area where I complained of the pain. By the time I got home, when I undressed to get into bed, I was shocked to find angry, red welts all over my left breast, my arm, my back. Shingles. Shit. Despite being vaccinated, I had been hit hard by the shingles virus. And I can honestly say I have never been in so much pain in my life. It was devastating. I spent the entire 4th of July holiday, my favorite holiday, in severe pain and discomfort. I mean, it literally just knocked the shit out of me. After a few weeks, I did start to feel better, but 14 months later, I still have nerve pain on my left side. The doctor had given me gabapentin at the time for pain. I reluctantly took it, even though I tried to avoid pain drugs, but they said it was safe, so I took it. 3 months after starting gabapentin, I began to notice I was having trouble walking. Now, I tried to avoid my concern for a few months, but I was starting to freak out. It was like my brain was having trouble sending messages to my feet. So when I was walking, if there was a color contrast on the ground or something was wet or something, my brain wasn't sure what to do. So it froze or I hesitated. It's hard to explain, but it's like a proprioception problem. Basically, my brain and my feet were out of whack. So I tried to reflect back on anything that might contribute to this issue. And I immediately thought of the gabapentin. So I stopped taking it, praying that would resolve the problem. It didn't. So a year later, I knew I could not ignore this anymore. As a gerontologist and care manager, you can imagine where my brain went. Parkinson's, MS, dementia. So I scheduled an appointment with a neurologist and I was resolved to get some answers. Tuesday, I arrived at my appointment and I was very anxious, full of dread. I've worked in healthcare my whole life, but the truth is I hate hospitals and I hate being sick. My entire career has been built on staying healthy, and so far I've succeeded. But waiting in the UC Gardner Neuroscience Institute, I knew this was one outcome and one appointment that could change everything for me. All the planning and the good intentions to age well may not help me avoid a devastating, life-changing illness. Now, what I do with that information does matter because how we approach illness and life challenges, it does make a difference in how we navigate these types of transitions. But I wasn't ready to be a poster child for how well I navigated Parkinson's. I arrived a few minutes early, panicked about finding the place and navigating the huge campus at UC, parking and all that stuff. So I got there, I checked into the waiting room and I took a deep breath. And the lobby was full of things I see all the time, patients and walkers in wheelchairs, dealing with their own stages of their personal journey. But this time I wasn't here for one of my clients. I was here for me. I nervously browsed a large area of resources. 75% of the brochures I saw were for placement agencies. I saw business cards for friends I know in the industry, and they help individuals find care options. I nearly wept with the realities of what could be my future. I sat silently staring at my phone when a nurse came through announcing my doctor was running 2 hours behind. What? How was that possible? And how was I going to make it for 2 hours sitting here? My phone was nearly dead. I'd left my charger and my books and anything that could keep me from freaking out in my car. And fear was just growing in my belly. But I waited. 90 minutes later, I was the only one left. The lobby and the staff were gone, and they finally called me back, took some vitals, and said the doctor would arrive within 30 minutes. I slumped over and prayed. When the doctor finally arrived, he was very apologetic and sincere. We got right to work. I explained my symptoms as best as I could, and he grabbed his camera and said, "Let's go on a field trip." So we went down the hall into the PT gym, outside in the parking lot, trying to duplicate my issue. Nothing. We made our way back through the empty halls. I mean, it was after 6 at this point, and he took me to the exam room and performed a physical and cognitive exam. And yes, I had to list the months backwards, starting with December. And fortunately, I was able to do it. But if he had asked me to count backwards from 100 in increments of 15, I would have failed. He entered some notes, and he gazed back at me and said, "Mrs. Ibarra, I do not see any indicators that you have Parkinson's disease, despite the fact that your symptoms align with what they call freezing of gait. My physical exam gives me no concern that you have a neurological disorder." So relief poured through my body while he shared that if I wanted to proceed with more testing, I could, but he didn't think it was necessary at this time. And I agreed, choosing to take this good news and run with it. My follow-up is scheduled for 1 year. As I left the office and stepped into the August evening, I was exhausted and overwhelmed with emotion. I know that something's not right, and I still have this issue to deal with, but for now, I was given a pass, and I'll take it as a reminder that you never know when life's gonna drop a bomb on you. Today I'm free to go, but the next time I may not be so lucky, and I don't know what this year will bring me. It's a reminder that nothing in life is guaranteed. I also know that whatever happens next, I will try to handle it with courage, grace, and resilience. It's also a good reminder for me to hold a special place in my heart for those who are navigating their own personal health battles. Show kindness and compassion to those who are suffering and those who are caring for them, because one day we will all be there. For now, I'm gonna book that next adventure because you never know what the future holds. Until the next time, live bold.